is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. It has been forever. I feel like I say that every video, but it really has been forever, and I apologize for that. But I need to get this video out because I really want to do this. I have the day off, even though it's raining. I'm sure you guys could hear that in the background. And I do have an update on the Mustang. Don't mind the nice soft mattress on top of it. That is my sleeping pad for the truck, which we're going to work on today. But the Mustang is experiencing a slight misfire on cylinder 4. I did a compression test. Everything looks good at 160 to 165 every cylinder. The spark plugs, they might be an issue, so I ordered new spark plugs, so waiting for those to come in. But Lund, who tuned the car, believes that it is something to do with bad gas, so I added VP Boost Octane Booster. They say that one's the best one, pretty cheap. Threw that in the tank, testing that out. Nothing so far driving around, again on those old plugs. But when I get my new plugs, then I'll change out the gas and everything. And honestly, the story kind of makes sense because I've been filling up at the same spot, and both times I got the misfire code. And it happens on a D cell, like a rev match D cell to 4500, and then with no extra throttle, so it's just naturally coming down. That's when it starts to pop the code. But the car drives fine other than that. So we're just working on that. And then from there, I gotta get it smogged and then all that fun stuff and pay the registration. So that's the update on the Mustang. That's why you haven't seen it too much. Today's video is on the truck, which you guys know all about this thing, I'm sure. It's got a little level on it from rough country, camper shell. That little mattress goes on the back platform there so I can camp in it. I have a roof basket coming in, and over here, I have an awning that you guys can't really see. That's the awning. This is the platform that usually goes in the back. And you can see it's just absolutely pouring, which this is pretty heavy for California. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do a install of this head unit. This was sent out by Atoto. I think that's how you say it, but it's their S8 standard. It has wireless CarPlay apparently. I also have a backup camera to wire in for that, but it's super rainy and I'm not getting on my back and trying to wire that down the side of the truck. So what we're gonna do is just do everything in dash today. And then I have the wiring harness here that I did last night. Just crimped it. This is very, very simple. I mean, orange to orange, black with white line, green with white line to green with white line. I mean, you match the colors. This is apparently pretty standard. Because of the year of my truck, I have some stuff that isn't used, like steering wheel controls and OEM reverse camera out and stuff like that. I don't have that stuff, but this is the GM plug for 95 to, I think, 06. And then this one is the Atoto plug. So I just did this last night to give me a head start because this took about 45 minutes. And that's self-explanatory for the most part. The biggest thing is check your wiring. But this is, again, pretty much standard. The yellow, the reds, all that stuff standard. So we're going to go ahead and it should just be plug and play. Pop out the dash, and I have a new dash kit. In my year, let's get inside here. All right, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff from inside the truck. In my year, which is a 99, I think 99 to 03, it is this style in dash. So it needs to have a whole new surround. Like all this plastic trim right here, all has to be replaced. And then you can have a double din. Because right now this would only allow for a single din. It's just one of the downfalls. I guess they didn't have them back then in 99 as often. So with that, I have to pop this off, which is simple. And I got a paint matched one, or like a interior matched one. But with GM, there's so many different interior combinations. It's either shale or pewter. And I don't know which one mine is. When I look at my RPO code, it's literally both. It says shale / pewter. So we're gonna see if this all lines up, and we'll see how it goes. I think the only difference is that it won't be black here. It'll all just be shale / pewter. We'll see which color it is. Taking off this is pretty easy. You just gotta pry with your hands. Don't need a pry tool or anything like that, but I think we are gonna have to drop the column shifter. So I just wanna insert your key and drop it into a gear here. So after that whole surround is off, well, then you have this nifty theft lock, which really just push down on both sides. And that's all it is. So it just comes right out, and then we'll unplug everything, which hopefully it doesn't get in the way of that. We'll have to use both hands for it. And then from there, I think we'll be able to plug and play our new one. Now we have this one out, which I just plugged in my new harness into. I don't know exactly what this one goes to, because this was also plugged in the back. And then this is like the GM proprietary antenna, which the dash kit actually came with the adapter for it, because it's using a bigger one instead of the small one that they use. But I don't know what this is. Might have to look that up, or we're gonna see if this all turns on first. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the new head unit just to see, and then we'll mount it up in there. And I just wanna make sure everything's turning on. So this right here is the actual unit, which you can see is very slim. It's actually really lightweight. Compared to this, I mean, look at how much thicker that one next to it is. This is just awesome. And it's got the CarPlay and everything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and plug it in. It's got everything if you have aftermarket amps. I'm just running the stock speaker system. And then it comes with the microphone, the brackets, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and start installing this. I'll probably put the microphone just right here like I did on the Mustang and be good to go. So we have it all plugged in here and you can kind of, whoa, it's kind of got a ghost going on there. But we're gonna go ahead and let this hang. I have the harness plugged in. I have the FM antenna plugged in. I have these all wrapped that aren't gonna be used. Hopefully when we start this thing, it doesn't make a pop and smoke, but we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and just put on my key here. All right, let's see. Okay, I see something. It's powering up. And there's Google. Oh yeah, this is Google Android, by the way. I didn't really go over too many features, but this thing's pretty action-packed. Like, it's got a lot of things on it that are beneficial here. Let's see what we got. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's turn it on to a random station here. I gotta use my other hand. Hey! Let's go ahead and turn that down before we get copyrighted. But that is working. I'm sorry I have the flashlight in there. So that worked. Now we just gotta mount it up. I did plug in the mic, ran it around the back and just have it sitting there. It didn't come with 3M, so I'm just gonna 3M it right there later. But hey, we do have this working, and once I have it mounted, I can go over some of the features. So after further reading the instructions, which, you know, I'm a male, so we don't do that too often, but you do need these brackets that do come with the Atoto, and then these allow you to then mount for the Skosh. Because I was like, how does that work? Because this isn't big enough. This is super slim, and this thing's meant for like the old school double din. So that is the bracket that allows that to happen. Now you have all these crazy mounting options, and we're gonna choose the ones that fit for this and make sure it fits flush, and you can see holes will start to line up as we can hold it, and then we'll mount that up, and then it should just pop right in with those two rails, plug everything back in, tuck it behind the dash, and we're ready to roll. This is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be completely flush. I don't even know what I was thinking. It was sticking out super far and I couldn't get this on, and I knew not to force it or else you'll snap these little posts off so quickly. So that's really how it's supposed to be, nice and tucked in there. So it should just pop in, and I'll show you guys that here in 1 second. There it is, all installed. I would say a pretty dang good color match. The only thing here is I think this is kind of close, but as long as these are all still working, which I could press that, I mean, it's really close there, but that's pretty much the only thing I see. If anything, I can Dremel that later, but right now everything looks good. This is exactly what I needed. I didn't expect this to be like a 2021 Cadillac or anything like that. Of course, the fitment from a Skosh mount is going to be, you know, just aftermarket, but the head unit is super snappy. I'm really liking that, and it's just so quick. It has all these apps. I'm gonna have to do the CarPlay here in a bit and figure that out. It's even got freaking YouTube somehow. If I can connect to the internet through my phone, I think you can tether it. So I'm gonna play around with this real quick, and I'll show you guys some of my favorite features. This is the finished product. So everything's in here. It looks great. I mean, I have a freaking mess that I gotta clean up, but hey, that's how these installs go. The only thing that's weird, and I just talked to my buddy Sabir about it, is that this all used to be black on the OEM, and now it's all tan. So it just is a lot of tan in here, but no big deal, and it still is raining. I'm talking just not letting up at all. But going into this, you can see I'm recording. I'm using my phone. This is all wireless CarPlay. Like, this wire is not connected, and it would play all my music and stuff. So that's pretty cool. That's basically what I wanted this for. Let me go back to this normal camera. I basically only wanted the CarPlay. Like, I really could care less about all the other features, but if I connect to my Wi-Fi, it does open up all of these apps as if this is an Android tablet, because this is a Google Android. It does come with Bluetooth calling and all that stuff. A ton of different apps. You can get your front camera, actually like a dash cam. You can put that on here and actually record to the dash cam inside, or the actual internal storage, or a USB or SD, I mean, right there, micro SD. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. But it does have a very good equalizer. I'm just kind of set right here at cinema. Seems to work pretty good. I also kind of played with the bass filters just to limit some of that real crappy bass. So that's actually a really nice EQ. And there's a ton of different presets that I don't really want to press, as you can see right there, because I kind of messed with mine and played with it to where it sounded really, really good. Keep in mind, I do have JBL speakers, front and rear, but that stock head unit right here absolutely sucked. Like, that would not even push them. It didn't do those justice at all. Like, this is so much better. So now you go back to here, you can go back to the home, go to all your screens, all these apps right here. Even has Pandora built in, has the Play Store. The Play Store has all the apps that an Android would, so you can just pull apps there. One of the cool things is this Tpms, which I wanted to get. They sell it for like 80 bucks on Amazon. That's a Atoto brand. It'll actually Bluetooth Tpms all four. And when I'm off-roading, that would be really nice to know, just to know I'm matching all my air pressures, because we do air down. But as you can see, it failed there. Go ahead and wrap up this part of the video. I'm gonna come back to it once I get the backup camera installed, and I'll show you guys that, because that might have some intricacies, I don't know. But I got one that mounts to like the license plate frame, just something real simple. It's hard to do something kind of unique like I did with the Mustang whenever it's just a truck, just because the tailgate and all that. But we're gonna do it all nice and clean the way I always do. I'll show you guys how I do it, and I'll finish up the video whenever we get that going. I know it's been a few days since that last clip, but I did go ahead and install the camera. The camera is already installed. I didn't show any clips while doing it because, well, I just wanted to get it done. And I did run into some issues, but they were totally my fault. So this camera is similar to the one I have on the Mustang, but a little bit different. I used the license plate mount bracket, so it's actually behind there. You can see it bending a little. And then I ran the wire down. You can see it actually sitting like right there in that crack. And it goes under and into my taillight. There, I have the RCA yellow plug, and then the volt, or I guess the positive lead that is going to trigger the camera. That is based off of the reverse positive, and then the ground is on the reverse negative. So that's pretty simple, because the reverse just has two wires. So positive, negative, black one negative, green one positive. From there, that wire runs all the way down against my frame, which I just used the stock wiring harness and followed that. And then there's a grommet underneath this floor mat and the carpet. To get to it, you have to pop this off, which just pulls up, and it also wraps around here. And then you pop this piece off. Once you do that, you have the wire all zip tied along the harness, which I'll show you here in a second. But then it goes up, and I put it underneath the cluster all the way around, and it goes up and over, and boom, right into here. And then on the Atoto, it goes into the pink camera wire trigger, which goes for the reverse. And then it also plugs into RC video, I think is reverse, or RV video, reverse video input. So now it all works. And what I did originally that screwed me was there's two wires on these like Amazon backup cameras. One of them was for reversing the image, and the other one is for these stationary lines. Now, I never use the stationary lines built into the camera just because you can't adjust them. They're just stuck. So I don't really like doing that. But I did prematurely cut that freaking little tiny wire that flips the camera image. So when I first installed it, everything was backwards. Left was on the right, right was on the left. I had to re-solder that back together, and then it fixed it. But that's pretty much it. And let me show you guys how I have it wired. So let me cut this clip and go to the next one. You can pretty much figure out how it goes there. And then it goes actually up and over my fuel tank, which let me show you guys up under here. It is, it is actually this black one that's on there, but it goes up and over the fuel tank, which you guys can't see there, and then up and over my spare. I guess I really can't show it too much because I tucked it in pretty well, but it is pretty easy to do. It's just kind of a pain to fish everything through and then zip tie it. But the cleaner you zip tie it, the more you don't have to worry about it when you go off-roading and if it comes out or like rubs against something. And then the stock grommet, I just cut a hole in and then silicone back around it and let it dry, and it comes up from the floor. And no, you can't feel it. Check out those slides. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and turn this thing on and show you guys the backup camera, because it's pretty freaking good for 40 bucks. And on a vehicle that is this big, I definitely need it. We put it in reverse now. Boom, pops into the gear. And then also it pops on the camera. So I love, just like how the Mustang, I can see the edge of the bumper. So I mean, I could put that thing right on there. And you can also adjust all the lines and all the color settings, but this has been what works for me with my camera and the lighting and things like that. You can adjust your line, which I played with and got it dialed pretty good. To adjust the line, my number one tip is go to an empty parking lot and park in front of the space. So like if your truck's here, this is where the space would be. Line up the width and everything of your truck of the parking lot or the parking space, because obviously it's gonna fit into it if it's a normal truck. And then set your distances, like have somebody help you and be like, would that be enough to get out of a parking spot? Like this is basically plenty of room, but as soon as I touch these yellow lines, like those small ones, that's like my parallel parking line. Because this line didn't really make sense, but these little yellow lines, if I put a car's front bumper there as I'm backing up to it, I can still back up enough to turn the wheel and get out of a parallel parking spot downtown. So that's pretty much it for the install. It is a very, very nice unit. I still love this thing. It's been working great. It's still super snappy, and I use it for the Bluetooth, or not Bluetooth, but the wireless CarPlay, and it goes pretty quick. I'm just recording right now, so we'll see if it actually wants to work. But I don't think it actually will, because I'm in a video. So we'll just skip out of that. But usually as that verification approved comes on, it's already connected and playing music. So that's probably what's happening there. Do you have an awning now that is bolted on? So this is a sick little 8-foot by 8-foot awning. So it's plenty big. You can do it yourself. Also, I have a roof rack, which this is Arxon from Amazon. It's freaking stable for, you know, 400 bucks. I had it all sealed up, so don't mind my globs here. This is all just to make it so it's marine sealed. I used boat hole sealant right here and let it dry. And then, as you can tell, it was already black powder coated, but I added bed liner. So 2 full cans of bed liner onto the roof rack just to help, you know, keep it looking good with some of the weak spots. And I also layered it over because the marine sealant was white, which I did on purpose so I could see if there's any holes left in it where all the seams are. I went ahead and spray painted bed liner on it, so that way I could tell it was completely double covered. And I know it's not like perfect, and I live in California where there's not that much rust, but hey, you know what? It adds a lot to it. It gives me peace of mind. And if you guys know what this logo is, then you're really cool. And if you do know, leave a comment down below. I know this truck isn't like what my channel's built around. I know it's a Ford Mustang channel, but I just got actually an email that is related to exactly what I'm talking about. So Ford knows what I'm talking about. I do have a Ford off-road vehicle coming, and I placed that order. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, then that's coming. And I've just been very stagnant with the Mustang. That's why the content hasn't come out, because it's perfect the way I want it. So why am I gonna mess with it? So that's kind of my feelings on it. And this thing is just an off-road beast, but there's a better vehicle out there for off-road, at least, you know, because it's more modern and stuff like that. This thing does do everything I want it to do, and I love this truck, but there's no point in doing this because it doesn't really benefit the channel. And I do want to keep making content for you guys. It is a little passion of mine. So I think this is all gonna mojo and mesh together. So I'm very excited to reveal it. I'm gonna wait until I have confirmation on stuff before I just go and share it. But right now it's looking very, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this isn't the Mustang. Mustang videos are coming soon. I'm fighting a battle right now to get it smogged, which I'll share some details on. I'm not too happy about, but I know I'm not the only one in the world to have to deal with this. So I wanna share that with you guys, and that'll be coming probably later this week. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.